Happy Father's Day, Dad. I was trying to think of what I could do different this year that would be something that would bless you. And there's so many memories that I have of the two of us that I could just talk and talk and talk forever about so many of the great things that you've represented in my life, the things that you've done and mentored me in, made me the man I am today with the work ethic I have, the skills and abilities that you put in me from the time I was a young boy, working at the shop, working together, seeing success, going through the tough times, going through the good times. So I just wanted to sit down and put together just a compilation of some thoughts and some songs that maybe you could listen to over and over again that would bless you. Songs that you like, Dad, not just songs that I like, but some songs that are special to you. So this time I'm going to spend together on building this is hopefully something that will bless you and something you'll be able to listen to on a regular basis and inspire you and sing along. So um, here goes. We'll do a few songs together. Love you, Dad.
Fill my cup, Lord, I lift it up, Lord. Come and quench this thirsting of my soul. Bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more.
So, Dad, I'm sitting here in my office, and one of the things that I have above my desk here, if you remember this, Winnebago News, Winnebago business expanding, one new firm to open. This is dated 1974. I was, 14 years old when you moved into this facility that used to be the welding shop, and moved that whole facility over there. Man, the start of great things in that facility that we added on to, twice, put the side on the secondary department. Then I built that 40 by 80 building on the backside. Boy, what a blessing. From being married in 1980 till 2002, when unfortunately we sold it with the economy and everything that was going with the industry. But I was blessed to raise my kids because of the heritage and the lineage that you built, Dad, from 1963, I think, is when you started it. And then, I worked with you and married in 1980. Learned the trade, honestly, by just hanging out with you. I've told my kids and my grandkids, if I wanted to see my dad, I went to the shop. Remember, Mom would come and pick me up, 8, 9 o'clock at night, take me home, throw me in the bathtub, and degrease me with all the grease on me and put me to bed. But honestly, I've told people, I never really learned the trade. It just became part of me. Isn't that what a family business is? And man, what a blessing that was, Dad. I know we had some tough times, but we had some really good times too. And I'm very thankful for the ability that you instilled in me with that company. And honestly, Dad, all of that insight, all of that training has just followed me my whole life. Made mistakes, but the good things that have come out of everything is because of the mentorship that you placed in my life. Way back, starting then, working with my hands, learning to push a broom, building skids, and then eventually, pulling the handle on a drill press and running a milling machine, and then a Brown and Sharp to I was a great multi-Davenport operator, setup guy, just a progression of what you instilled in me. I have no one else to thank but you, Dad, and Mom, for raising me and making me into the person that I am today. When I think of Father's Day, you're a great dad. You are a great dad for everything you've done in my life and for what you've instilled in me. I love you, Dad. I hope this is the greatest Father's Day ever for you. I love you. Time for another song, okay? Here we go. Oh, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to see what he could see, and all that he could see, and all that he could see was the other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain was all that he could see. Another strong attribute, Dad, that you taught me was the way you started every week. Every Monday morning, we all gathered in the break room and you read a passage of scripture out of the Bible, and then you explained it, you expounded upon it, and then you asked any questions. And we always had questions from people, and then you always ended with a word of prayer. Out of that Bible study, you led countless people to Christ. The story of Ernie, you've told me several times, and so many more that you were able to witness to. And I know that's always been a major part of your life, is to share your walk with the Lord with people. I've carried on with that. I now in the company that I work for, I shared with you a little while ago how I said that my dad used to start every week in a word of prayer, just praying over our company and people and customers. And the owner of this company said, Brad, I want you to do that every Monday. So every Monday now for months, we start off with a word of prayer and I lead it. It's allowed me to witness to guys. Recently been able to pray over one of our guys' wife who has cancer, and I lift Mary up every Monday morning in prayer. That all came, Dad, through your example of doing that and watching our company be blessed by God and growing. And I thank you for that. Thank you for passing that heritage on to me and making prayer such a vital, important part of my life. I love you for it, Dad.
He touched me, oh, he touched me, and oh, the joy that floods my soul. Something happened, and now I know he touched me and made me whole. He touched me, oh, he touched me, and oh, the joy that floods my soul. Something happened, and now I know he touched me and made me whole. Something happened, and now I know he touched me and made me whole.
Love you, Dad. Well, a couple other stories to share with you. I don't know if you remember this, but we lived on Cunningham Road, and I had gotten a snowmobile from the Zogs. It was an AMF Skedaddler, that silver thing. I look back at it now, it was such a piece of junk. And I also had that 6-wheel Amphicat, and I was always taking the motor out of the one and putting in the other and then flipping it back again. I mean, just a kid doing that. I don't even think I was, 14, 15 years old at that point, if that age. And because we had just moved to Winnebago not too long before that. And you guys were gone one night, and we got hit with this snowstorm. You were over at Don and Jean Hurst that night for a visit, and I think I was home, probably by myself, and I just wanted to go out riding my snowmobile. So I'm out riding Cunningham Road with that snowmobile through the ditches, and I hit a culvert, and I broke the front ski, and it broke the leaf spring, and the whole thing just tipped like this. And so I turned around and headed home, and I pulled it in the garage and shut the door and turned the light on in the garage and looked down, and the leaf spring was just laying in the trough of the ski. And the proof of Brad's temper, I grabbed hold of it, and I was so mad because it was broken. Now I couldn't ride, and I threw it right through the garage door. And it was those real small panels. Remember the orange doors, the 2 doors on that garage, and it went right through the door. And I'm like, oh no, I am in trouble. And it bothered me so bad, I had to call over to Don and Jean's and get you on the phone and tell you about it. And you just were like, we'll deal with it when I get home. And you patched that door and sanded it all down, repainted it orange. The only way you knew it was broken was on the backside where you put the patch. Same kind of story in a different way. Later in life, I was married at this point, working at the shop, and I was back in your office with you talking about something, and I was mad, and I was like having problems with machines, and I didn't like the answer you were giving me, and back and forth and back and forth. And I went to just leave the office because I was just mad, go back in the shop, and I had so much oil on my hand that when I grabbed hold of the doorknob to go back out, which was the inspection room, into the shop, I couldn't turn the knob, and I couldn't get the door to open, and I got mad, and I took my fist back, and I threw it at the door, and I went right through that hollow core door, and then I couldn't pull it out because it started coming back against me. And I look over at you at your desk, and you're sitting in your chair just laughing at me, and I'm mad because I can't get my hand out of the door. And then I started laughing, and you came out, got on the other side of the door, opened up, and allowed me to get my fist out of the door. I don't know how many 5-gallon buckets I did in Dad by kicking those things all the time with my temper.
And you fixed that door too. And for years to come after that happened, every time I'd leave that office door, I'd grab that doorknob and I'd look down and I'd see where you patched that door as a remembrance of that day. Crazy stories, Brad's temper. I'm not saying that's something you gave me. I won't blame anybody. That's my fault. Just another story. Love you, Dad. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing, and he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I stay in the garden with him, though the night around me is falling, and he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Love you, Dad. Dad, I think trust is a huge thing between a father and a son. I think of Chad and how much I've watched him grow and how much I love him, how much I trust him. I mean, you've said so many times to me, and I so appreciate it, that you're proud of me. Even through some of the stupid stuff I did, you still trust me, love me, and are proud of me. And I just wanted to just kind of encapsulate this before I sing one last song for you, that you really helped me get into a position of where the things that I did for the Lord were put in place in my life. I think back to the guitar you bought me, which I've actually got hanging on the wall over here, that Giannini 12 string, that as a youth I played and led choruses to the youth, to buy me my set of drums, which I have in the closet over here, that will someday be passed on to Chad. you made a big sacrifice back then to buy me those instruments, and you saw the potential that I had. It really set me on a path for ministry. It put my ability to lead worship into play. And, back to Accents, when I was too young to tour with them, but I was a good enough drummer that Dave Bennett couldn't play, so they asked me, and I went on tour, and all the way through under new management and all the things that God brought me to, that were part of all that seed planted, Dad, by you, the guitar, the drums, seeing the potential I had, trusting me in the company. I can't say thank you enough for being the dad that you were and the dad that you are. And I hope this has been inspirational, and I hope I've touched your heart, Dad, to let you know how much I love you. And you're my hero. Always have been, always will be. We're going to do one more song, Dad. I love you. Love you so much.
Okay, last song. Here we go. I was once a sinner, but I come pardon to receive from my Lord. This was freely given, and I found that He always kept His word. There's a name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. And the white robe angels sing the story. A sinner has come home, for there's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. With my sins forgiven, I am bound for heaven, never more to roam. I was humbly kneeling at the cross, fearing not but God's angry frown, when the heavens opened and I saw that my name was written down. There's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. And the white robe angels sing a story. A sinner has come home. There's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. With my sins forgiven, I am bound for heaven, nevermore to roam. In the book is written, saved by grace. Oh, the joy that came to my soul. Now I am forgiven, and I know by the blood I am made whole. There's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. And the white robe angels sing the story. A sinner has come home. There's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh yes, it's mine. With my sins forgiven, I am bound for heaven, nevermore to roam. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.